I'm really obviously we'll get into it in a second. Spike Lou, I'm really I've been having to hold off asking what's going on in life. But we said we're gonna talk about it here on the pod, and I know we got a guest today. We're gonna introduce him in a second. But it's been difficult not to reach out like, yo, man, what's up, man? What's the update? Because I really been saving it. I wanted the real-time reaction, how everything came together with everything you got going on, man. So I'm looking forward to that discussion.
We'll discuss
but
it. I used to work with me and JAH. We worked together. It was the same place. So the whole story, I'll go over it.
Okay, then, yeah. We'll talk. We'll talk about it next week, man. Dedicate that time to it. But you hear the voices, man. Hey, listen, our bad, y'all. Our bad. They've been on our ass. Like, yeah, it's been 2 weeks, man, since we gave the people something, and it was really unexpected. Both times wasn't really planned, or it was last minute. I promised that we had known that we were gonna have 2 weeks off, we would have prepared something a little bit different. But thank you for your patience. Had people hitting up the DMs like, "What's going on, man? We getting an episode today?" But we back, man. And I know we said that we were gonna take every 10 episodes off, but we done skipped that one. So we won't take another one off until 30. At least that's the goal right now. But it's Rich here, man. Spike Lou in the building, and we have a special guest with us. JAH, what's going on with you?
Man, special guest. That's crazy. You know,
special
someone
guest.
called me special, and I'm all humbled. I appreciate y'all for having me on, man. Real talk, literally my first ever podcast.
Really?
Yeah, it's in history right now.
Okay,
then, I'm glad we got you in your first one. Absolutely. JAH does have a YouTube page. Y'all make sure y'all go check that out. Things and stuff with JAH. He's the shoe goat. He got a gold 365 pair of shoes, right? For the year.
I'm approaching 400 right now. I'm approaching 400.
But a different pair every day for the right?
Yeah, I'm still doing that. Different pair every day for the whole year.
What you think about that?
We gotta pause it for a second. Proper introduction. Hold on, but I'll make sure we put the link for the YouTube page in the episode description, so you can actually easily access it. So it's easily accessible. Excuse me. We'll put all that in. We'll get into JAH Wise here. Proper introduction. Once again, I know I joked and said thank y'all for your patience, but welcome back to another week in the books. Chapter 18. Chapter 18, man. I want to make sure we get that on record. Chapter 18. We're moving right along. JAH, first time podcast. That means you were officially a bookworm. That's what we call the people here. You are a bookworm, man. Write your own chapter into this book.
Too.
Yeah, you're a co-author.
Okay. Now I'm starting to pick up on what you're putting down. Okay, I like the concept. I like it.
Absolutely, man. So we welcome you with your first time, but we were talking a little bit before we hit record. I'm a retired sneakerhead, right? I was in the game for a long time. I worked at Foot Locker, had all the releases, was the guy that had everything. And the game just kind of changed. I want to know, when did you fall in love with it? How long you been doing this? And what keeps you in it? Honestly, I guess that's what I really want to know. What keeps you in it since the game has changed from younger days, high school, late 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s. It's a whole new ball game. What keeps you in the game? I'm sure it's just a love of the sport, but
love of the game. Love of the game. You know what I'm saying, has something to do with it. But like at the end of the day, like if I was gonna put a pie chart on it, like 65% of it, I just like to be fresh. Like, you know what I'm saying? like you know what I'm saying?
That's real.
I just like that, man. And I don't know, man. Like, you know, I'm saying, like old school. They always used to say, you know what I'm saying, the first place that a person looks down is at your feet. You know what I mean? Like that's some old school, you know what I'm saying, knowledge right there. And you know what I'm saying? So I like to keep my feet fresh. You know, as far as like, I mean, I've always been into sneakers. I mean, I guess as a kid, not like I would just like, you know, it wasn't raining from the sky with Jordans and nothing like that. But you know, you fall in love with the sneakers because, you know, these are attached to your heroes. Like Jordan. Like my favorite basketball player in the world was Kevin Johnson when I was little. You know what I'm saying? So I begged my mom for them Converse. You know what I'm saying? Like because I wanted to be like Kevin Johnson. Or you wanted to be like, you know, Deion Sanders. You wanted to be like Ken Griffey. You wanted to be like, I mean, and that's really, you know what I'm saying, where I guess I was introduced, or where I started like, okay, I really like sneakers because of what they represent. They represent my heroes. And then you know, then once you get to like, you know, 7th grade, like really like, you know, 5th, 6th grade, right? That's when you get introduced to Jonah. You know what I'm saying? So you can't have on the kids no more. You can't have on the LA Gears. You can't do that. You got to have
K Swiss. Ain't no K Swiss no more.
Nah,
it's like nah, you
no,
can't do that anymore. No Velcro straps. Nah, we're not doing that anymore. So like yeah, that's when you have to start put on something presentable. And then as I and grown older, I'm saying I've been through roller coaster of life. We all have ups and downs. Like I've always bought sneakers and probably like gave them away to like nephews, cousins, friends. Good whips, man. Goodwill probably got some heat, dog. Like say from me, dog. Like like real talk. Like before I was into like actually collecting it. I think I started collecting probably like around 2011. That's when I stopped just giving them away. When I just started just saying just keeping them. And then something happened like around 2017. I just lost my mind, and yeah, and now I'm close to 400.
It went up.
I used to think I had sneakers until I met John. Like until I started seeing him at work every day, like I was like, I can't even compete with this. This nigga like every day something new or something you ain't seen before. So I respect the grind. I definitely respect the grind.
It's always someone, man. I like that though. It lets you know what tier and what level you on, because it's cool to always be the dude. People like, oh, you got different shoes, because I'm the same way, right? And then you meet someone, it's like, oh, nah, I ain't even on their level yet, man. Matter of fact, I'll never.
Somebody else.
There's always somebody, you know what I mean? So but that's what keeps us going, right? That's what keeps it going. There's always somebody. Plus, just the love of it, right?
Bro, he got a shoe vault. You got to put a finger to get in and everything.
I mean, like so I got two kids. They 5 and 4. And so I got to put the thumbprint on there, man. Oh, they be in there, I'm saying, writing and cutting the stuff, and like, and I had to like, I'm saying, give them the defects, you know what I'm saying? My sneaker room, though, you know what I'm saying, I call it the reservoir, because that's you know what I'm saying, that's where we hold all the water, you know what I'm saying? That's where the drip is. Feel me?
I got it. So I gotta ask you, what's your favorite 3 things? All right, 3 things.
All right.
What's your favorite Jordan?
Okay.
What's your favorite non-Jordan Nike?
Okay.
And what's your favorite non-Nike shoe?
Yeah, that's actually pretty simple. I just know these off the rip. My favorite Jordan is the Jordan 13. He got game.
Okay. You went all the way specific.
Yeah. That's
the black and white ones, right?
Yeah. I got those in the
OGs.
He got game. Like I was always
okay.
Yeah. That was I don't know, man. Like that just model. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that model was crazy, and I'm weird and eclectic.
Yeah.
Right. So I like big cats. You know what I mean? And Panthers / Jaguars, those are like, to me, that's my favorite. Everybody likes gives the lion the king of the jungle or whatever the case is, but me, like, I'm a Jaguar guy, Panther guy, right? Yeah, and the Jordan 13 is modeled after what I'm saying, Jordan's nickname, which was what I'm saying, big cat, black cat, right? So but yeah, I just and plus it's OG Chicago colorway. I'm saying, boom. I mean, it's just perfect. They retro them next year too, so I'm gonna have to re-up.
No doubt.
Favorite non-Jordan Nike, Bo Jackson, the Auburns.
Okay, then. Okay.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite sneaker of all time. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody's had a pair of those at one point in their life.
Yeah.
I know I had the white Carolina blue colorway. And a couple. What made it? Was it a Bo Jackson thing? The same way you talked about Kevin Johnson?
It's like when you get to high school, right? It's like I begged my dad for those.
Yeah.
Like I had to have those. He didn't get them. You know what I mean? Like so when you say everybody used to have them, I didn't have them, right? Right. Yeah. But it's just something about the way that what I'm saying, the colors pop and the lines, like how the tongue isn't like. It's a short tongue on it. I don't know. It just looks different. It's just a beautiful piece of artwork, and it represents, what I'm saying, Bo Jackson. Like I said, I got close to 400. Like right now, actually, I'm probably going over 400 when I, when the mail call comes. I just hit on like 2 other sneakers. But like of all the sneakers that I have, so let's just call it like I'm saying several hundred sneakers that I have. That's the only pair that I have 2 of.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's the only one I have.
Same colorway. Same colorway.
Same,
Or different
yeah,
colorways?
same exact colorway. Like it's the only sneaker I
One-
doubled up on. Like I don't wear my sneakers enough to, you know what I'm saying, need to double up. Like I mean, I'm gonna wear them like if 2 or 3 times in a year. You know what I mean? Like if that.
Fair.
Like I've got like this year I'm gonna be pulling out sneakers because I told Lou, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna wear a different pair of sneakers every single day. And you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna put together some dope content at the end of the year to you know what I'm saying, just basically celebrate the occasion. And yeah, so I'm gonna be pulling out sneakers that I ain't worn in like 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Like just sitting there, but like but for me to just want to make sure that I picked up 2 of those because I don't know when they're gonna retro again. Let me just make sure I have just one on ice, just clean.
A dead stock pair.
Now my favorite non-Nike, non-Jordan. That's actually a really good question. Man, it's actually probably a pretty recent pair. It's the Joe Fresh Goods 9060, the Inside
New
Voices.
Balance.
In
Okay,
that
yeah, got you.
New Balance, yeah, New Balance.
Yep.
It's in that penny cookie colorway. Is I don't know, it's just beautiful. And like sneakers look good, put together nice colorways, you know what I'm saying? Shapes are nice, but sometimes like really what takes it over the top is the story behind it. Like, because these sneakers, you know, they do have stories. Like, well, some of them do, like not all of them, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so why is it that colorway? What is it about, you know what I'm saying, this sneaker? And I remember that story just resonating with me. Like Joe Freshgood, he's just dope as hell. I don't know if you know who he is,
Yeah,
but
absolutely, of course.
yeah. I'm saying like he's just magnificent, and especially when it comes to storytelling, and just infusing that into his sneakers. I was like, yeah, man, I had to have these.
No
Like
doubt.
I wouldn't even have I wouldn't even have New Balances if it wasn't him. Like
One for them
it's
nights.
like my first.
I'm about to say a
I
lot of
wouldn't even have.
people. Yep. Our only
Yeah,
time I really knew people to wear New Balance was back when Foot Locker used to have the 2 for 90, 2 for 89.99, the New Balance 574. I think it was the 574s. Be part of it, and that's what come in. I remember because I worked there. So many moms would be getting their kids back to school to 2 for 90. You know, it was an easy cop.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can't
So
beat that.
I can definitely understand that, man. Shout out to that.
Easy,
Shout out to you.
easy. And if they ran into me in the lunchroom, boy, I'm gonna flame their ass up.
Yeah, that shit went cool. So it's always funny, even Asics. Like
That's
even
funny.
You know
Asics,
what I'm
right?
saying?
It's funny seeing sneakers that wasn't really cool back in the day become
Be
cool now.
cool now.
Asics, New Balance. It's always like, damn, we was never
Saucony's.
worn that.
Yeah.
Champion. I remember
Saucony's.
when
I seen people in
people
Listen,
brought
man,
Saucony's.
Champion
Saucony's,
back for a
man.
little while.
I have pairs of Saucony's that I'm like, yo, this
Man,
is
you know, I would have
crazy.
probably never had them on. It was they got hot for a little minute when we was in school, but you had to have
Yeah,
the
when I was
right
in high,
pair.
well, yeah, see, it's funny because like in high school, like after I got my first job, like I went for the Saucony's because they were cheap and because they
Mm-hmm.
had like all the colorways, right?
Facts.
So I could just like, you know what I'm saying, I could pick up like, and they was like what, $45, something like that, man.
$45.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got no bills, man. I'll drop a whole check on like the entire rainbow. You know what I'm saying? It just be that fresh at school. You know what I'm saying?
Have something for every shirt.
Yeah.
Even beyond the
Thanks.
shoes, though, Jai, your content, like you were talking about storytelling and the way that you frame it, you don't just review shoes. You don't just get on there and say, hey, I got these. Like you do the whole backstory. What was your motivation for content creation? Like what made you want to get into that space and then like tell the story about the shoes the way you do?
That's also a good question, man. Yeah, that's all right. So like there's like 2 parts. It's like a 2-part answer, right?
Okay.
So obviously I like sneakers, so I'm you know what I'm saying, I'm on, you know, what we would call, you know, sneaker YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just noticed like somewhere around like 2021, there was like a real shift in the culture where people it wasn't about the culture, it was about like how much this shoe worth.
Yeah.
Like, and so you would get people like getting away from like actual culture. And if I got to explain what that mean, then like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
then you're not like us. You
Turn the
feel me?
TV off.
Like, you know
Turn the
what I'm saying?
TV off. I
Turn
gotta
the
explain
TV
what
off,
that
yeah.
means. Turn the
Go
TV
ahead,
off,
skip.
bro.
Go ahead and skip
You know what
through
I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you know what I'm saying? We had a lot of vultures, you know, coming through, and they was like taking off. And obviously, you know what I'm saying, with the YouTube thing, like a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, they do this thing because there's a monetary gain attached to it. And whatever's going to get the clicks, whatever's going to get the views, that's what people are going to do. So now now everybody got this thumbnail where they you know what I'm saying, they holding up a shoe and they just like, you know what I'm saying, all that, you know what I'm saying, and all that bullshit, right? And you know, I'm just like one of them people, like, man, like you got to be the change in the world that you want to see. And
Nice.
and I ain't and it's funny because like when I started the channel, I'm like, okay, like I just want to do something that I would want to watch. You know what I mean? Like I don't like I'm not really, I don't care. Like, oh, you like it or not, I'm fuck. Right? No, excuse me, I didn't know if I right. You know
Nah,
what I'm
hell
saying?
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's like I just want
hey,
to
man, we wouldn't be,
yeah,
we
like
couldn't be ourselves. This wouldn't even exist. So let it fly.
all right, that's what's up, man. Like, yeah, like I don't give a shit if somebody likes it or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just gonna do it. And you know what I'm saying? Like, apparently, you know what I'm saying, people was fucking with it, man. And I was like, okay, let me continue on. Now, why did I even like pull the trigger in the first place? I was having a conversation with a former employee, and we were talking about, you know, things that he wanted to do. And I was like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, you start with the end in mind, right? Okay, so this is where you want to be at. Okay, let's work it backwards. And like, so that eventually we get to that first step and you take that first step. And, you know, I'm a huge, you know what I'm saying, faith guy, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, put it all on everybody else. But, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You take one step, you know what I'm saying, next two already covered, right? So, right. So I'm like, I bet you do X, you know what I'm saying? He wanted to be a sportscaster, right? I was like, I bet.
Yeah.
So you do X and I'll do the same. I'll start a YouTube page too. Right. That's literally how that started. And I don't know, you know, I figured myself a pretty creative guy. So, you know, ended up being like a pretty dope video. And people was like, oh man, that was all right. And now it's just
I gotta ask you a question. I'm sorry, man,
yeah.
because I don't want it to slip my mind. You started it because you had somebody else that wanted to do it, and you was like, all right, man, you do it, I'll do it, right? So it wasn't even something that sounds like it was even in the cards. Like it wasn't even something that you were like, oh, I can't wait to start this page.
It was something I was thinking about because of the conversation I had right before that, like about how I don't, you know what I'm saying, like it was like Sneaker. So you just got, there's only like a handful of people who's really like actually true to this shit. Like I mean, and just like with rap or anything else, you know what I'm saying, you can tell like who's about the shit and who's not, right? Who's here for clout and who's here, you know what I'm saying, because they love it. So like, you know, I mean, it was something I was thinking about, and I was like, all right, you know what? And because this was about like maybe November, late October, November, when we were having that conversation about him just saying, okay, just turn on a camera and just go. You don't need to have, you know, the lights and the great camera and everything else. All you just need to do is just, you know, show yourself through any camera. Eventually someone is going to fuck with it. There are 7.6 billion people on the planet. Somebody else fucks with you, I promise you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so just get it done. So so me saying to him, I'm okay, we're gonna do this together. All right, bet. I'll go ahead and I'll jump out there and I'll start a channel. And there you have it. He never took that first step, by the way. But
word. That's
like,
crazy.
You're right. Like that was what, I'm in year 3 right now, because it was January 2023 when I started it. Year 3. Now we sitting at, you know what I'm saying, 6,500 members of the Milestone Mafia. You know
Shout out to Milestone Mafia, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Milestone Mafia, man. Does
show,
it? Go ahead, Spike. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's your personality though too, don't you think? Because you gonna do it. Like I know from experience and working with you, like John, the type of dude, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go like all the way in. Like you started working out, and it wasn't just like, oh, I'm finna get in shape. This nigga would like in Mr. Olympia, like
I'm serial.
You know what I'm saying? Like this nigga this nigga didn't say I'm gonna start going to the gym. He built the whole body, was in contest and everything. Like I'm gonna do the strong.
I'm serial obsessive like that. You know, when there's something that I'm interested in, like I'm just blinders and I don't see anything else. And like I just have to know everything about it. So like I remember like when I said I wanted to start working out, it was like, you know, I was just sitting there, I couldn't hold my stomach in no more, man. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I need to get into the gym.
He was like, all right.
Right. I was like, man, I need to go and get in the gym. Yeah. And then like, you know, after I started seeing like, you know what I'm saying, little bit of your cheeks start coming down. The next thing you know, you start to see your shoulders start to pop out. Now I'm just like, okay, what else can I do? okay, what else can I do? 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 And then like I think what is like maybe like 2 years later, I was on the bodybuilding stage, man. I ain't win that shit. I'm saying I can't, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
Like I
shit.
came in, I came in
most
eighth,
niggas don't,
you know what I'm saying?
most niggas don't even come to the gym, like won't be do that consistently.
Yeah.
You made it
Nah,
to the
and that's what's-
bodybuilder stage, nigga.
And that's what's fascinating to me. Obviously, I guess we should tell people context, man. This is our first time having a conversation just right before we hit press record. So I'm learning all this about you in real time, and that's really what's fascinating. You talked about being on the bodybuilding stage, and you were talking about the YouTube and how that kind of started. I think it's fascinating how you just take these things, and it's easy to say, all right, then yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot or whatever, or mold back and forth about it. Not only am I gonna do them, because it sounds like it was like I wasn't having a dream. Most people was like, I had a dream. I've been wanting to do this for years. It's more so like I started it, so I'm gonna take it to the max. And a lot of people can't do that. Even people who are passionate to it can't take it to the max. And it seems like you just take something,
man.
You say it, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. Have you always been that? Have you always been that way though? Is that something? I guess when's the first time you recognized that in yourself?
Playing the trumpet. Like
how old were you?
I was whatever 8th grade was. 14, 13,
14, yeah.
Yeah. I went to Lithonia versus I want to say Lithonia versus Tucker football game. And this like some old school shit. I was born in Queens.
Yeah.
I moved down to Stone Mountain when I was 9.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, so I'm from Stone Mountain, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no doubt.
So like I went to that game and I still remember it, like, because Patrick passed, like he was running back for Tucker, man. Like, fam, like this motherfucker was killing Lithonia. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dog, fam, he had to run for like at least 450 yards, dog. Like I'm talking about, he would drag motherfuckers on these cleats, motherfuckers goddamn, like, you know what I'm saying, knocking them in the face and shit. But nah, then it was halftime, and you know what I'm saying, Lithonia got out there, and shit, what was the song, man? It was Bone Thugs and Harmony, First of the Month, man. They played First of the Month. Like, and that tuba, doom, doom, doom. Now that's not First of the Month, but you know what I'm talking about. It's Thuggish Ruggish Bone. Thuggish Ruggish Bone, yeah. Yeah, that, and I don't know, that tuba just did something. I was like, oh shit, man, I want to learn how to do that. So in 9th grade, when I got to 9th grade, you get an elective. So I took beginning band and I learned how to play the trumpet. By the time I was in 12th grade, I was first chair, full scholarship to college, you know what I'm saying? No, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's nuts.
Like, yeah, because I'm nuts. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's because I'm nuts.
That's what he do, bro. Like, we working together. Like, he's probably one of the most successful people at the job that we worked at together. And for him, he could not understand how people couldn't do it. Like, while we'll be talking, and he's like, bro, just do that shit. Like, I don't understand how you can't just go do it and be good at it and keep it fucking moving. Not judging you for it, but just it being in his head to being like, that's what I do, nigga. You should be able to do it too.
It's the same,
which was
the same reason.
It's a motivating thing.
It's the same reason why Michael Jordan ain't a coach, right? Michael Jordan, how you gonna teach somebody to do this? Like, I just do it. I can't explain it to you. There's just something that makes sense when I get on this court. The tenacity that I take with it, the way I approach it, it's just different from me. And I can't coach that shit. So there's no point. And it sounds like you got the same thing. Like, man, I can't, bro. You just get it and do it.
I mean, I think I say personally, I think I was a pretty good coach. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't. But I had to. But it's the same. It's the same concept. Like, because the thing about like all of this is the practice that goes on beyond the scenes. Like, when I first got to that job, like, that's all I did was I learned how to do it. Like, somebody would give me like some objection that I couldn't, overcome. I would write that down. You know what I'm saying? I'd go home, you know what I'm saying? I'd hit my blunt like 2 or 3 times, and I'd just be pacing back and forth, like coming up and mentally mapping a conversation and coming up, how am I going to respond to that the next time somebody say that to me? Right. And I would have like entire conversations mentally mapped out. If he say this, I'm gonna say this. If he say this, I'm gonna say this. And like, look like a damn spider chart. You know what I'm saying? And I would dare a motherfucker to give me that rebuttal the next day. I dare you. And like,
that's part of
that's deliberate practice. That's just deliberate practice. so to lose point, like when you say like I don't understand, I'm like, okay, well, then work on it if you're not good at it. Like it's not, this is not like,
Yeah.
it's not entirely a rocket scientist. You know what I'm saying? Rocket science. Like to say that I want to learn how to do something, like you can, like, all right, I'm not going to the NBA, right? I ain't finna go to the NBA.
Go.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck how much basketball I practice right now. I'm probably not going to the NBA, right? I'm not going to be one of the 700 best players in the world, right?
Yeah.
But if I practice hard enough, I bet I'll beat the shit out of everybody at LA Fitness.
Fair. And that's what, as I'm listening to you, I think I just narrowed in on what it is. It's not the fact that you have the work ethic and the drive and you just say, hey, just do it, right? It's the fact that you want some, all right, I want to learn how to do that. You at the game, I want to learn how to do that. You sign up for band. You in band. 93% of people are going to be, you know what? I'm in this. I'm going to take it seriously. I'm going to do the best I can. And that's cool with them. That's cool. I did it. I did what I said I was going to do. You're taking it 10 levels higher than that. I don't even know if you know how to explain
that's
this.
the reason that I have.
What is
that's
it
the reason
that
I want you to come on?
Yeah. So what is it where your brain can't say, "Nah, I'm only going to do it to level 5." If level 10 is there, you taking it to level 10, and it sounds like it doesn't matter what it is. Where my personality, I guess let's contextualize this.
Yeah.
My personality is, I'm going to take it to wherever level I want to. I don't have that. I don't have to take it to 10. If 8 is where I'm at, I can take it to 8, even if 10 is there, right? Unless there's certain elite things where I'm like, nah, this is 10 all the time. Like I have those things where I'm like you in, right? But it seems like you do everything like that, where I'm not the same way. And that's what's so fascinating to me, because some stuff is just cool to do. And it sounds like even if it's not of the most serious interest to you, like I said, it's just some shit that you just like, I'm gonna pick this up. There's something in you that says, nah, I'm taking this all the way there. Like you don't have any like, nah, this is just a casual thing. Nah, this is something I'm taking serious. I'm getting better at it, and I'm going to be the best possible version of myself in this. And so many people, or so few people, have that. And I just think that's, I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling. Spike, you know what I'm talking about? Does that
That's
make
exactly
sense?
That's the thought process I had when I said we have to have JAH on, because that was my interaction with him on a daily basis at work, and it was fascinating. He didn't even know, because we just started like working closely together over the last year. But even prior to that, I used to hear him doing his job, and I would be fascinated. Like this nigga never not know what to say. Like anything that you could say to him, he know what to say. But again, he just went over his process. I'm taking this home tonight. I'm going over it. I'm going over it. I'm going over it. So yes, I definitely understand what you're saying. I toss it.
Just real quick before you do, man, because I just thought about it. Obviously, Spike and myself always caught the wire. You the opposite of what Bunk told McNulty, right? Bunk would always say, there you go, giving a fuck when it ain't your turn to give a fuck.
It ain't your turn to give a fuck.
I feel like when it ain't your turn to give a fuck, you still give a fuck. Like
I'm definitely gonna go full McNulty on this some shit.
He
like, you know what I'm saying? Like
we used to quote the wire together at work.
I'm gonna quote the wire. That's still like to this day,
daily
that
basis,
still on the banner of my Facebook page, man. Like you wanted to be one way, but it's the other way.
It's the other way.
That's life. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's that like 2,000 years from now, that need to be in the fucking Bible. You know?
Photo book.
Like you know what I'm talking about? Like, yeah. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's life. Like I mean, because and that's so when you talked about, you know what I'm saying, like I can go to 8. Like, you know what, sometimes like I'm only as good as 8, but 10 is still available. So I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even if I eke out 8.12, you know what I'm saying? Like, boom, I just surpassed my thing. Now, if I can get to 8.12, what's to say I can't get to 8.3? And so on and so forth. Like, I don't know. Shit is a video game.
Like, has there ever been anything where you just said, nah, I can't do this?
Nah, I can't do this.
Well, maybe not. I don't want to word it like that. Let me not word it like that, because
I can't turn invisible.
Right. Something where you just said like this just ain't it. Like, or something where it's like, man, for some reason I can't take this to that level 10 like I do everything else. Has there ever been anything like that where you just like, man, this is just the best it's gonna be?
I love how hard he got to think about that. Like that's definitely false.
Because the thing, I mean, it's like I just don't want to get it confused that I reach the level every single time. Like I don't see anything that I can try and not try to do it the best. For what? Like, what are you doing it for? What are we recording a podcast for? If not to be the best podcast, right? Like
that's fair. That's fair. Absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like what are we doing here? Huh? You know what I'm saying?
But I also go to LA Fitness.
Mindset.
That's because that's the point, right? I also go to LA Fitness. As much as I love hoop, sometimes I just need some cardio. Like I'm not in there to bust somebody's ass that day. Maybe I just need to get a couple miles in back and forth. And I feel like you would be that nigga at LA Fitness. Like, nigga, I'm not leaving the court. And I wouldn't really care. As soon as I get my cardio, I'm out. I'm not leaving the court today. Like, I'm busting everybody's ass.
But all right, no, and don't, yeah, all right. So like your intention is not to go the best workout possible. So in that scenario, like, bro, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna be panting and I'm saying, like, and I'm gonna be running up and down and I'm gonna be sticking defense and I'm gonna do all that because I want the cardio out of it and I want the best out of this scenario.
I feel what you're saying. All right,
you see what I'm saying? Like, there's not a, like, I'm not trying to be like, I'm not, like, I ain't played basketball in forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to go out there on the basketball court and act like I'm you know what I'm saying, Kevin Durant or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But like, if I said to myself, you know what? I want to be Kevin Durant. Like, then that's what I would do. I would be in there every single day working on my jump shot. You know what I'm saying? Working on my triple threat position. You know what I'm saying? and all of that. And every single day I would get better and better and better. And this time next year, like, you wouldn't be able to see me. And same thing with my YouTube channel. Like I said that on the first video, I said, listen, I'm going to get better and better from video to video, upload to upload, until I am known as the best to do this.
I just see it. This is why I love having these conversations, because in real time, I'm processing all of this in real time and keep having new thoughts in real time. And I'm trying to break it down to the square root, right? So it sounds like really what it is, where I'm looking at it from a sense of, I'm gonna go to LA Fitness and just get this cardio, and you know, whoever want to come in here do whatever. You're more so like, it starts with the goal for you, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's
what the end of mine.
And I think a lot of people, myself included, don't always have that, what do I want to get out of this, that they can really accomplish, right? So I think when I'm sitting here, and even Spike, right, when we're sitting here talking about, man, that's so fascinating to me, I'm sitting here thinking about my own life, and I'm thinking about, man, the things, and Spike and myself have talked about this, right? We had a full conversation and a full episode where I told you, like, people ain't laughing at us, bro. We need to write down these goals and really, like, stick to it. And because once you do, I realize myself the things that I accomplished that I didn't even plan on accomplishing. And I kind of told myself, like, well, damn, what's going to happen if you actually have a list and you look at it? And as soon as you put that list down there, you can knock it out. And so many times, I think a lot of people aim wanderously, where it sounds like you're on some, like, all right, I'm not just going to LA Fitness. I'm going to LA Fitness for cardio, just like I said, right? All right, well, bet. How do I turn this cardio session into the best possible cardio session that I can have this day? So it's not just about how many shots am I making. I specifically want this to be the best, and it's moving forward from that. And it sounds like the same with you with the pot, right? If I'm doing this, I'm going to do it to the best. How does that look? What does that look like for me? Boom. These are the goals. I'm going to accomplish it. That's the part I think it starts with. Is that something that you feel like you've always had as well? Or have you always been like a goal-oriented? Are you a planner? You a vision board type of person?
Man, like, now this is like, in the last like 15 years, yeah. Like, yeah, because in my 20s, shit, man, if I could have those back, right? Because man, like, damn, I blew that shit. Yeah, so but you know, I mean, it's all necessary. I think that a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, because a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us, when I say a lot of us, I mean like 99.99999% of the world has talent. And I think a lot of us just rest on that. And the difference between the people who are elite is that they combine the talent, like you said, the planning, the execution, the hard work, and they put everything together. And next thing you know, you have Michael Jordan, right? Because, like, shit, So, like somebody cut Michael Jordan from the basketball team, which means that there were 11 other motherfuckers who were better than him, right?
Yes,
Like, I mean, objectively, because I know they ain't cut Michael Jordan just to be like, yeah, I want this to be the start of your origin story. Nah, he went out to tryouts, you know what I'm saying? And 11 motherfuckers was better than him. You know what I'm saying? Like, but not after he goddamn sat down and started working on that shit.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, talent is there, but can you put it together with the execution? Yeah, I really wish so. Like when Spike is like, why don't you just do that shit? That's what I'm talking. That's the thing I'm talking about. Like, why don't you just do that? Like, it's right there. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a manual. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers be trying to put together IKEA furniture without the manual. Like, fam, it gives you a manual.
They're giving you the roadmap to do the thing that you're trying to do.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
You're not paying attention to it. Why? Facts. I got a question based on what you said. You mentioned you had kids for 4 and 5.
Yeah.
How does that mindset translate to raising kids? Because of course you want them to be them and you want them to have a happy life growing up, but you also know what it takes and you know what discipline it takes to be great at things. And you want your kid to be great at things, but you also don't want to be overbearing and be that parent. So how do you balance that mindset that you have of I'm going 100% with raising kids? Because sometimes it could probably come off as overbearing.
Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? To say the Lord works in mysterious ways, man, because if I had kids like shit, like 10 years ago, yeah, I'd be exactly what you just described.
Yeah.
Right. But like learning how to be a good manager, a good coach, like it went from like that. They say Michael Jordan's not a really good coach, right? And the reason, like, and I don't never spoken to Michael Jordan or talked to anybody who, ever, say whoever who's been coached by, but this is what I surmise and I theorize that the reason why is because he's trying to turn everybody into Michael Jordan, right? And what I realize is that I can't turn everybody into me. What I need to do is I need to identify how I can get the best Spike out of, Spike. And that's how it is. Now there are a couple of things like that that are just going to be very universal. Like my kids know you can't. There is no I can't. Daddy, I can't do this. I'm like, what? And they know to replace that with I need help. Like things like that. And it's funny. I was literally just talking to my daughter today. Just got her back from cheer practice. She got her first competition on Saturday, by the way.
Shout out to her, man.
I was just telling her, like, and because she was talking about whether or not they were going to win or whatever the case is. I'm like, listen, like, as long as you're doing your best, your daddy will always see you as a winner, right? Always. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's nothing. And I think that like just people need someone to believe in them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I will always believe it. I will always believe in my children. And I think that whenever they grow up and whatever they do what they want to do, like I work hard so that they could do what the fuck they feel like doing. Like I got into sales because I had to. Like if my daughter want to be a ballerina or some shit like that, or my son wants to, paint. Like I want to put them in a position where they can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I want to paint for a living. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like I want to be a star.
I can imagine you in it after he tell you that how once you alone, like how you gonna
like I want to be I want to make $27,000 a year for the rest of my life. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? All right, okay, if that's what you want to do, as long as you're happy, you know what I mean? Like that's why we work though. Like my parents the same way, right? They busted their ass so that, I could, be, ahead of them. And my grandparents before them and et cetera, you know what I'm saying? I think that is how it's supposed to go, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm not gonna be like overbearing, especially not now. They 5 and 4. Right. Like it even concerns me, like in them cheering camps, because a lot of them, like soccer moms and shit, they be trying to live through their children and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I already know how nasty that can get. like with, you know what I'm saying, like with 8-year-olds throwing up and shit, like trying to, you know what I'm saying, stay skinny so they could, you know what I'm saying, be, you know what I'm saying, like, nah, it's like not my daughter. All right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not there yet. Until whenever she understands what competition is, that's when we'll start. Like right now, she's not even competitive like that. I mean, with other people, like with her brother, oh, she's gonna beat her brother and everything, right? And be upset if she doesn't. But like we was I had her in a flag football.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter is extremely, you know what I'm saying, athletic. Like she really is, man. Like she really got that, you know what I'm saying, that watered down Jamaican blood that don't pass down, right? And I'm talking about like she's like in most scenarios, she's gonna be the fastest kid out there. So they handed her off the ball and she just kind of jogging. I'm like, nah, you supposed to leave them, but she don't. That's not what she want to do. She want to run with her friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like yeah, she want to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Mary, just use those long legs and leave them. She wanted to do track. I want to see how she's gonna do with that. And I think that's probably what's gonna spark her competitive nature. Because like we're not gonna do track where I live out here in Johns Creek, man. We're gonna probably, you know, head out to Decatur. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you run against some hungry kids. And some kids who don't get Chick-fil-A every single night, you know what I'm saying, who don't get all the toys. All right.
Yeah,
You know
no
what I'm
doubt.
saying? Like, I'm gonna let you run against some of them from Avondale, you know what I'm saying? And you're gonna understand what competition really is, and hopefully that, you know what I'm saying, sparks her her competitive nature. My son, he's like, I think he's more of a creative.
Okay.
Like he's more of a creative, man. He plays his piano, got a little guitar upstairs, drum set, you know what I'm saying? He one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I would love for him to, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, take us all out the hood and be, you know what I'm saying, a superstar football player, but you know what I'm saying, it's probably not gonna be him.
How do you I remember going to the theater to go see Piece by Piece. It was the Pharrell Lego movie.
Yeah.
And one of the fascinating things, I always think this is I keep saying fascinating, man. Let me find the word. One of the dopest things about that film is his grandmother saw that he was naturally inclined or naturally drawn to music, right? He was always making his own makeshift drum sets out of pots and pans as a youngin', like 3-4 years old. She got him a drum set. You talk about your daughter's, you know, playing sports and she wants to try track. Your son's creative. How do you, as someone who doesn't have kids, I always feel like that's the most interesting part to me, like seeing what kind of personality and what kind of person your child would become. Was it easy for you to identify like what their interests were early and just kind of like, hey, I want to lean you into that? Because I don't know how many people actually have that benefit, right? Or even know that, hey, if this is something you like, you can take it to the limit, right? It doesn't have to just be a hobby. It can be something that you really pour into. But also, they're 4 or 5. They can easily put it down as quick as they pick it up. But just seeing and identifying that, saying, oh, I see right now you're a creative. Let me make sure I pour into that and make sure you have everything accessible. Or not have it, but you know that these things are accessible to you. Is that something that was easy for you to pick up, or was it just kind of a natural thing?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man, like, because like especially with, all right, so like my son was probably a little easier because he's second time around, right? And luckily, you know what I'm saying, like they're only 15 excuse me, they're only 15 months apart.
Is that what they call them, Irish twins? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, I think so. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm
like
saying,
the
after we
Harbaugh
had
brothers.
after I had my daughter, you know what I'm saying, doctor was like, you gotta wait 8 weeks. 8 weeks one day. I was right back up in there. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like so like all right, so yeah, but the like, so like with her, like it's like, okay, let's just try some stuff. Like if she likes this, hey, let's try it. 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 Like I'm trying to tell you, man. Like when I put her in soccer, like 2.5 years old, man. I thought I'm trying to tell you, I thought she was gonna take us out of the hood. When I tell you that my 2.5-year-old daughter had the concept of dribbling in soccer, like that's a high level skill. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a high level skill if you know the game. You know what I mean? Like to have the concept of knowing that, you know what I'm saying, how hard you have to tap the ball in order to run full speed and just keep it in front of you, like, but not lose it. Like her having the concept of that at 2.5 years old, I was like, oh my God. I called my dad and everything. I was like, hey, look at this video. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look at your granddaughter. You know what I mean? Right. But then of course next year she was like, man, I don't want to play soccer no more.
I don't want to play
Right?
soccer.
And that Spike told me like beforehand, he's like, man, you're the most confident person he's ever met in his life. And it's funny when I'm thinking about it because you have to be extremely confident. You have to be extremely confident to even take your 2-year-old child and put them in sports. That's just a confident thing. Like most people wouldn't even do that. We gonna wait till they 5, 6. Like 2.5, you ready? Go ahead, let's get it out.
Well, apparently I ain't the only one because there was a whole bunch of kids out there. You know what I'm talking
about? For real? Yeah.
Like, you know,
I didn't even know they get started that young. That's why I was like, man,
like they do, like they do, man. Like trust me, like these little sports places, man, they are willing to take your money at any age your child is. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like both of my kids, both of my kids was in swim class when they was 6 months old. You know what I'm saying? like they will take your money at any point in time. You know what I'm saying? Like they do not discriminate. Now so we got to watch her, like I'm saying, like things and put them down, like things, put them down. So when he comes along, and like the first thing that he was really into was, you know, trying to self-delete himself, you know what I'm saying? like jumping off shit, you know what I'm saying, head first, just, you know what I'm saying? we spent 2 years
doing what boys do. Doing what boys do.
Doing what boys do, man. Spent like the first, you know what I'm saying, 2-3 years trying to get him to not kill himself. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but then okay, man, that actually made me think of something. When he was born, and this is completely opposite of my daughter. When he was born, he cried for like an hour and a half straight.
Damn.
And I'm talking about like, not like, you know what I'm saying, like off and on.
Straight out.
I'm talking about like, I have no idea how a small specimen of a human, like 6, 7 pounds, could find that much oxygen. You know what I'm saying? To just go for an hour, like literally, I'm talking about an hour and a half, like from the operating room up to the resting area, where, like an hour and a half, like straight. And I was like, man, boy, he got a voice on him, boy. Like he might. I was like, that might be his thing. And he just, you know, music, you know what I'm saying, is a thing that would, you know what I'm saying, quiet him down. He was like, you know, saying that as soon as he got control of his neck, he was able to, you know what I'm saying, like follow the beat. And you know me, I'm riding the car, man, saying he love him some Outkast, you know what I'm saying? Like he's like, okay, like that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? I play a lot of, you know what I'm saying, Pharrell's instrumentals because I can't play a lot of the music, you know, for him. It's like listen to Grinding, you know what I'm saying, and try to emulate that on your drumstick. But I'm just gonna play the instrumental for you because, you know what I'm saying, you really don't need to be hearing about, you know what I'm saying, all this stuff. Anyway. But yeah, like identifying that stuff, man, like there actually is no playbook like for these type of things, right? Mm-hmm. It's really just about paying attention, and like I look for the God in, you know what I'm saying, everything, right? So I think that, you know, it's kind of like when I met my wife, like you always hear, like when you meet the one, you'll know immediately, and it sounds like a cliche, and I didn't really understand until I met my wife for the first time. I was like, oh yeah, like, you know what I'm saying, like the first I was like, okay, like, I mean, yeah, we talked.
If you don't mind sharing, what was it?
Yeah, we talked for about a week and a half, you know what I'm saying, like on the phone. And then when I met her, it was for the first date. When I saw her, I was like, okay, I'm gonna marry her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna marry this girl. Damn. Like, you just know, like, I can't explain that. You will and when it hits you, like remember, JAH, you heard it here first. When y'all meet the one, you're gonna know immediately. You're like, oh, that's what he was talking about.
Prior to meeting her, were you like, I'm gonna get married, have a family, have kids? Or was that just like it didn't matter to you?
Yeah, when we were introduced, I was about ready to settle down. I think I had been, you know what I'm saying, I was on the tail end of thotting around, you know what I'm saying?
I've been outside.
Yeah. I was on the tail end of that. It started getting boring, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, okay, all right, man, I think I say I think I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm good. I think it's time for me to go ahead and put my jersey.
I've exhausted all these resources.
Yeah, man. They can go ahead and put my jersey in the rafters. I'm in the Hall of Fame, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
First ballot.
I don't put up some numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
He said our first ballot, man, unanimous.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm saying it's like, remember, it's like, yeah, man. Y'all remember JAH back in 2007, man? He averaged a triple double. He was going hard. So he was there like you know, yeah. So you know what I'm saying? When I met her, you know what I'm saying, I don't know, I just got that feeling. And because it was literally out of a movie too, because when I pulled up, she was she had stayed in like a little brownstone or whatever. So she was coming out of the garage. So like the garage lifted up, and then I could see the black shoes that she was wearing. Then the
slow reveal.
The slow reveal. Yeah. Like then I could see the, you know what I'm saying, the dress, then the, you know, the tan jacket she had with the teal, you know what I'm saying, necklace. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I still remember everything that she was wearing. I took a picture of her. Like I took a picture. I was like, I have to remember this. Like, wow. Yeah, like the way the eyeshadow got there matched, you know what I'm saying, her rings and shit. I was like, God damn, I'm about to marry this girl.
Yeah, experience that one day, man.
Hey, that's dope. For real, I'm over here like, damn, man. Really, what happened?
Like I ain't never had that right there.
Hey, Spike, I'm over here like, what happened next?
Right, like that's like a story off the wood right there.
Yeah, man. It was, man. It was like it felt like a soundtrack too. Yeah, not like the Raising Kids is kind of the same way.
Speaking of soundtrack, go ahead. I was just
gonna say, yeah. I mean, because we got off topic. I was like, yeah, Raising the Kids to me, at least, is kind of the same way. There isn't really a playbook, you know, for the intrinsic things that you're talking about, like noticing what they're into and things like that. Like, yeah, there's a playbook for, you know, making sure they go to the doctor, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, saying all other shit. But yeah, like you'll know because you're watching them. I can't explain to you how mind-blowing it is, like, to watch your children. Like, that came out of me. You know what I'm saying?
I can't even imagine. Like,
it's mind-blowing. And let me tell you what, you know what I'm saying? You know, parenting is super cool, dog. But let me tell you this, man. Parenting on weed. It's crazy. Having a conversation with your children, like when you high, you like
where that come from?
Like, nah, because I don't smoke like that no more, right? Yeah. And I just picked it back up like 6 or 7 months ago. And like I was never like a heavy, you know what I'm saying, like face 3 blunts at a time. Like, no, I'm saying Bob Marley said to conserve the earth. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like I hit a blunt like 2. Yeah, like I hit a blunt like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And I'm good. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing like liquor, you're not supposed to overindulge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, so I'm not like, you know, saying like bloodshot red. I'm just feeling easy and shit, man. And you sit there and have a conversation with your children, man, you could hear them clearly. It's like you understand their thoughts, like their questions be so deep. You'd be like, damn, yeah, you really don't know the answer to that question. And you are actually counting on me to give you the answer.
And you think that I know. You think that I know.
Because you think that I know. And you will eventually get to a place where I have no idea what to tell you. Because children's favorite question is why. And they will layer that why until they get to the end of the road and you have no fucking idea what the answer is. Right. And you know what? At some point in time, they're gonna find that. They're gonna find that out. Whatever the thing that I can't get, they're gonna find it out, and they're gonna be able to have the same thing with their kids, and they'll be able to take that why a little bit farther. You know what I'm saying? And but anyway, you were saying though, my bad.
I mentioned I work with John. We talked a little bit about music and just now what you were saying. One of his questions, he interviewed me for the job. One of his questions was about one of his questions was about who's the best rapper ever. And why is it not Andre 3000? I want to know. I remember that vividly. I want to know, do you still think Andre the best rapper ever?
Andre is by far and away the best rapper of all time.
By far and away.
It's not even, there's Andre 3000 and there's the rest of them. who are battling for that second spot. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like Hov is kicking all their ass, but the Andre
But you still
3000,
got Dre at 1.
yeah, Dre is dog. Dre's not even a goddamn number, man. Like it's like Dre, and okay, now you start the conversation.
What you think about that, Rich?
You know, Hov is number 1 for me. Listen, all that's subjective, and I understand you can't argue the skill set. I'm actually want to pivot this a little bit differently.
Okay.
As someone who was Dre's easily your number 1, how do you feel personally that you never got more music from there's a stretch, obviously, from Love Below up until the Flute album, where all you got was maybe some feature verses. Like, does that, not defending it because I don't think that matters. I don't think you're saying who's got the best discography. You're just saying who's the best rapper. But is there a little bit of you that's like, man, like we just missed a window where we could have had some incredible classic timeless music? Or are you just appreciative of what you got from the Outkast days? And
no, because we didn't. Because we didn't miss the window. We literally got some incredibly classic music from them. That was the window. Like that's
I'm
the
talking
thing
about
that
from
happened.
him. Like, there was a whole nother gear and level that he was supposed to go to, and he just didn't want to. Right, his personality just wasn't taking it there.
Oh my god! Like I mean, my mind would be blown if I seen another level. I'd be in a vegetative state if there was another level. Like, and I think that also you have to keep in mind, like, you know what I'm saying, the era that I grew up in. Like, the Dungeon family changed my life.
Yeah.
You know, like my mindset would probably be, you know what I'm saying, on some other shit if it wasn't for the Dungeon family. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Andre, we talk about confidence. It's like
facts.
Andre put on a dress.
Not even
nobody tried him.
Even all the other weird shit that he wore.
Nobody tried him.
The first thing
nobody tried him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's confidence. All right. Nobody said anything. It's cool. It's just Dre, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
It's just him being him.
What was it? So I want to ask this. Real quick because I always want to know what was the moment. Right. I always think about stuff like this, like your favorite color, right? Like one day you just look at a color and it makes sense to you. Like, what was the moment for you when Dre was like, "Oh, this is the best ever"? Like, do you remember that moment? Do you remember? Was there a song? Did it grow on you, or was it instant?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it is. Because I think that Dre's verse on Extraterrestrials, man, from the AT Aliens album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was it.
That's a.
I mean, like that was it. That was the moment.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I know, because I'm literally just listening to that. I'm literally just listening to it because I'm trying to because you know, like I spend a lot of my time scouting beats and stuff like that for my YouTube page, and I was trying to find a. Yeah, I was trying to find a beat. I was trying to find a beat to go with these Galaxy phone posits. And I was like, nah, you know what I need to do? I need to do Extraterrestrial. Like, so I was listening to the song again. And I'm like, damn, this nigga Dre is like, he's literally the greatest. See, we all kind of fly, dog. Just can't be scared to spread your wings. Head to better things. Maybe the mockingbird and nightingale they want to sing. Keeping this thing alive to the table is what we bring. We like hailstorms and blizzards in the middle of the spring. Extraterrestrial. Yeah, anyway.
Do you nah, that's dope, man. Because I don't know. I have the same thing.
Because I get it. I get it. Jay-Z is Jay-Z. Like,
but no,
he's
not
like
even that.
He's number 2. You know what
I'm
saying?
Not even that. Yeah, just the concept of I'm thinking in my head, listening to you. I'm thinking in my head, like, damn, when was the last time I even thought that someone might have been close to her? Like, I've been. It's just fascinating how it's not just a subjective thing. It's more so everything, right? It's just something about this makes sense to me, and I could never see anybody being better. Did that ever happen to you? Did you ever have a moment where somebody might have been close, or is it always from that moment you heard that verse, like, nah, this is my guy, and I can't even picture somebody getting better? You might.
No, I mean that's just. I honestly couldn't tell you the moment. It's really just a combination of him never dropping a whack verse. at all. It's never happened.
Even on Love Below?
It's never happened.
Nah, Love Below. We can have a whole conversation about Love Below.
Love Below
because it's
before its
so
time.
far ahead of its time. Yeah,
It was
man.
late. It was like 808s
like
and
I mean,
Heartbreaks before
it's just never,
20 years
never
earlier.
happened. Like, and it just never happened. He doesn't have any. You can't find one. You can't find one. I can't say that about. I can't
feel
say
that
that about
argument
Jay-Z.
now. Like now that you're explaining,
but then again, Jay-Z has, like, you know what I'm saying, thousands of verses. You know what I'm saying? Like, the odds that one of them is subpar is going to be greater than the hundreds that Dre has done. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's very fair. Because
I feel that
like
now,
that.
though.
Two songs that I just don't like, but not a
It
lot.
lines up. It lines up with your personality too, like what you're saying. Like Dre wasn't one of those niggas where, oh, I'm just gonna go in here and rap today. Like you hear Jay-Z verses with like, I'm just gonna go in here and rap today because this is what I do. Dre is always like a second or third level meaning thought. Like there is no verse where you don't hear him and you like,
yeah, without Dre, there is no Kendrick Lamar.
Bugged out.
There is no Kendrick Lamar without Dre.
Yeah. Speaking of Kendrick Lamar, what did you think about the halftime show?
Oh, what I think about that.
People don't know, so tell them. Tell them. Like, I know, but people don't know, so tell them.
Oh, okay, yeah, I fucking loved the halftime show. Like that was that was pure cinema, right? Like I was like, this is so great. Like this is so great to me. And the thing that I love more was the breakdowns afterwards. Like some of that, like some of the symbolisms, I was like, God damn! Like, and I mean, because when you watch it the first time live, you're like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Like the first thing that stood out to me, it was like all black folks. I was like, damn, man, he just really tweaking out here. Now he brought out Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam, and I'm like, wow, wow.
The level of diabolical thinking even to do that.
Now, Trump is in the press box. Keep in mind,
yeah. Facts.
Like Trump is in the press box. Like they're watching this, right? Like it's just like crazy. And then say Drake.
Yeah. That was an instant. That camera turn was an instant classic. Yeah. Like I think every room that was watching that the way he did that, it became a meme right away. Yeah. I appreciate the fact that Super Bowl performance really separated. I'm glad everybody exposed themselves. And I was like, okay, then I see themselves. Man, the commentary after that, I was disgusted by some people in the commentary.
So here's the thing:
halftime show, man, I was disgusted. And as a black person, I just don't understand how you, as anybody as a black person, just couldn't appreciate what just happened. But it was like, you know what? I get it. People separating for what they like, no judgment. But I just know where you are. I know where I am.
I really find it interesting, the commentary, like y'all are saying, going back and forth. I do of course, y'all check out On Deck TV. I do a hip hop podcast. My co-host Sarah AB, shout out to him, love him, but he's a Drake fan. There's a pocket of people out there that are like, oh, but it wasn't entertaining. It wasn't what a halftime show should be. And there's a pocket of people out there. I was having this conversation with someone else. Yeah. That's what I'm going to ask y'all. There's a conversation out there also being had as to where people were like, "Oh, he was being too black. You can't be that black in front of white people on that." I heard it. I heard it. Huh? You can't be that black in front of white people on that stage. This is not what that's for. And that shit was mind blowing to me. They came to that conclusion, and this is the nitpick that you have. You can't be that black on the Super Bowl stage. I want to know what you brothers think about that.
So what is there to say? My bad. Like and you know me. Like I'm a, you know what I'm saying, I'm a word, I'm you know what I'm saying, word police and shit, right?
Words mean a lot to you.
Yeah, words mean everything, because they literally mean everything. All right.
All right. So told me that 1,000 times.
Yeah, all right. So so when you said like that's not what a halftime show should be, I was like, yeah, it's not but it is what a halftime show could be. You see what I'm saying? Like and that was
what a halftime show is with me.
Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if we can appreciate man, what's the boy from Toronto name again, man? I can't even remember his name.
Drake.
No.
Oh, you talking about Weekend?
Nah, shit. I can't even think of, and it's my son's like favorite song, Starboy.
The
This
weekend.
Weekend, yes, the Weekend, yes.
Yeah.
Like if you can appreciate how the camera work went with the Weekend, but you can't with Kendrick Lamar, like then you just tweaking, like you just being a hater, like because the camera work on that shit was amazing. Like, and as somebody, you know what I'm saying, as somebody who's, you know what I'm saying, who's gone, you know what I'm saying, way into the rabbit hole of videography, right? Like just to be able to appreciate the way that the camera was moving. And like there was this one, I mean, I don't remember what song it was, but where there was four corners that they performing, and you saw him in one corner,
The
and
people.
then dog. Like he saw him, and then it panned over, and he just pops up, and then it pans over, and then it pans over again. He's there, like dog. That you know, dog, you know how fucking difficult that was probably to do live. You can't fuck it up because it's live. You know how many times they work? Like man, man.
I know exactly what it was. I watched that performance like I don't know how many times. It's better each time you watch it. I wasn't the part. I don't know, like the people at the whole that wasn't entertaining. Like, all right, man.
For the people,
man,
for the people that said it wasn't entertaining, like, you just don't get it. Like, and it's part of the whole conversation that he's had in this beef. Like, there are people out there that are not like us, but they look like it and they act like it because they try to participate in the culture. And then they have commentary like, oh, well, this wasn't entertaining. You should do more hits because it's a Super Bowl. That's what's expected of you. Oh, you're not like us, because that's not what this was, bro. I have something that I'm telling you guys with Uncle Sam and all. I'm telling you something right now. This ain't a perform. I'm really literally telling you something right now. And a lot of people miss that shit.
Not even they don't get it. Some people get it and they just don't care. Which is even more wild.
And you know what?
That's another conversation
fine
for another day.
And you know that's fine, because you know, like there are other halftime shows, and I'm like, yeah, that shit was whack. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit wasn't for me.
Right.
You know, like this one was though. Can I get mine? You know what I'm saying? Fact. You don't have 51 other fucking, you know what I'm saying, half times.
You had Shakira, like, you know and J-Lo. Like, you had fucking Maroon 5. Give me mine.
Maroon 5. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I like Maroon 5 music, even though they whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, people think they whack. You know what I'm saying? I like Maroon 5. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, but like that wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this one was. For you. Yep. Yeah. This one was for me. Like, thank you.
And you know what else? You know what else goes into that? And I think this fits probably all our personalities. I know I just met you, JAH, but I feel like it's the same way. We talk about all the ones that weren't for us and those whack ones. I ain't never once ran to the internet or done this or tried to provoke thoughts by saying this. Go out of my way to talk about how trash something was. Or just like, nah, if it ain't for me, I'm just silent on it. It wasn't for me, so there's nothing for me to say. Y'all enjoy y'all moment. Enjoy what's for you. I'm gonna sit this one out because I ain't got nothing to say. And maybe that's just the whole, if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. It's really not that deep. But when there is something that I do care about, I'm gonna go ahead and express it. But it's the people that come out of their woodworks just being like, oh, that was the worst thing ever. Worst Super Bowl performance ever. Nigga, you weren't even around.
Right.
For majority of Super Bowl. What are you talking about?
Like, man?
It's like you just saying something to say it.
Like me, I'll be watching. I like you know what I'm saying. I watch the NFL Network, though. Like if you've seen the halftime show for goddamn Super Bowl one, shouldn't. All right, you know what I'm saying? Like, trust me, it wasn't worse than that. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Like I guarantee
that.
Yeah. Like it just, but you know, people. It's because of how divisive, you know what I'm saying, that shit became, man. That shit became Republicans and Democrats and shit. That whole Drake, Kendrick Lamar shit. It's like it became identity. It became identity shit instead of people like really just. Like, cause you know, like me and Spike, we done had the conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, like, dog, like let me tell you objectively why Kendrick is fucking trashing this dude right now. Right? You know what I'm saying? It's like this has nothing to do with the fact that I'm a huge Kendrick Lamar fan. I'm just telling you, like, this is how it's happening. This is how it's playing out. Like, and words mean something, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, let me tell you how Drake is fucking up by saying these words. But you know, they're gonna ride for Drake, man, because you know, because Drake he's in touch with their feelings, and
people love.
You know
I legit had to ask my co-host with this album that dropped just like, what was it, Valentine's Day?
Yeah, like, bro, that's Friday.
I listened to it because I had to review it for the podcast. But then I had to ask him, I was like, bro, who is this nigga talking to? He's 40. Like he talking about these things that he was still talking about like 20 years ago when he was 20 and just came into the game. And I get it. You may be hurt by these things, but I'm listening to it as not so much of a Drake fan. And I'm like, bro, how you 40 years old and still having these feelings? Like, and still singing about the things that you're singing about. It just it didn't make sense to me. It did not register.
I haven't heard it.
I haven't heard it. And, you know, like, I think that really, I mean, I'm being honest with you, like, So Far Gone was like literally the last Drake album that I listened to.
Like, that's fair. Appreciate the honesty.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm talking about from like top to bottom. Like that shit was masterful. You know what I'm saying? And people are also telling me that there are other albums out there that are, you know what I'm saying, that are just as dope, but I'll just listen to the songs that I like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to go back through, because he don't really make music for me.
Facts.
And this Not Like Us shit, this is not a new concept. This didn't just come out in 2024. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like, I'm not talking about like the allegations and shit. I'm talking about like the purpose behind You're Not Like Us.
Yeah.
What he's really
like
saying.
this is like he's not a like he's never been of the culture. Like, he's always been a tourist. He's always been a tourist. And like I've always pointed that out. Like the way, just because you have a dope ass engineer and you have a team full of writers, like, doesn't make you hip hop. Like, it really doesn't. I forgot what's the name of the song. Shit, Forever. Is that what the song's called? With him,
like
Lil Wayne,
and all them. Yeah.
On the
All right,
LeBron soundtrack.
so when you so you listen to that song and like Drake is on his hook, like, and that just sounds amazing, right? The reason why that sounds amazing is because like some of the greatest engineers on the planet sat down and made that shit sound amazing. I want you to really think about what that shit sound like raw. You know what I'm saying? Talking to every girl in the mall, telling them they're all the one for me. Is this a real nigga right here? Like, no, like ask yourself this question: Is this the sound of a real nigga?
That's the same question I had, bro. Like, he got a line on this new one. He got a line on this new one, like, you blocked me from all things, so I'm just gonna email you. And I was like, bro, how? Like, I've never even been in that situation where I'm gonna be like, she blocked my calls, she blocked me on socials. I'm gonna email her and like try to get in touch with her. Like, I cannot relate to that. It's niggas out there that can, and it's cool, it's fine. But me, like what you just said about real, I don't understand that,
and let
bro.
me tell you what else is confusing to me. The niggas that can actually relate to that should be pissed, because Drake can't fucking relate to that. You're fucking
That's
Drake.
what I was saying.
Like,
you're
Drake,
fucking
bro. Drake, man. Like, it's like stop playing with me.
Thing, bro.
Like, stop playing with me.
That catering.
Who blocked you? Who? What woman? And not even like, okay, now let me not say what woman. Which one of them bitches that you be fucking, Drake, blocked you?
Well, you gotta email her.
Like stop playing. Like you have a type, sir. Like, we know your type, sir. Like, unless it was Serena Williams, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, maybe it was her.
Because that's the one that would block.
She would have
Rihanna. Like, Rihanna might block her because Rihanna is, you know what I'm saying, like, all the way up there. Serena's all the way up there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but no, like all these other motherfucking strippers and shit, ain't nobody. Man, stop playing, man.
Facts. That's a fact. Rich, what you got?
Not, man. I mean, listen, this could go on.
Listen here, man. Like, first off, like, we're gonna go back to this Andre 3000 shit, man. Like, so I have right now pulled up the lyrics to Royal Flush. Are we all familiar with the song?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just want to read them. All right. Yeah. All right. This is just about to say this is probably one of the greatest verses of all time. So just hope, you know what I'm saying. All right. Styles will change. They say change is dangerous, as a king standing on the terrace, while his partner pointing up at the rifleman. Coward shooter, never know when your life will end. Then Live like there ain't no morrow. And if one comes, then this the motto. Now put message in bottle. You go to the nearest beach and open your car door and walk to the place where the sea meets the land. Yeah, it's easier to run the street than walk in the sand. Hey, I'm talking your man, as if chalk in my hand. I will take y'all little ass to school. It's cool when the kids call me Sonny. The hood calls me Stacks. The bees call me Honey. Hollywood calls me Back. Crack and I have a lot in common. We both come up in the 80 and we keep the bass pumping. That's a negative comparison. Embarrassing, unfortunate that if you come up fortunate, the street consider you lame. I thought the name of the game was to have a better life. I guess it ain't. What a shame. I don't slang, never slung, but I'm one with the slum that has a name well fitting, plenty cheese getting. No wonder why they call it the trap. So watch your tail. And I'm not kidding. The rats and mice would give advice. They say you can paint and draw. Get out of here. Go show them that we're more than slam raw. That's when I broke into my big Rube impression and I tried to enlighten. But that night I learned a lesson that the morals that you think you got go out the window when all the other kids are fresh and they got new Nintendo Wii's and your child is down on her knees praying hard up to God for a Whopper with cheese. Do you B, hit the street hard with a flare, or do you A, go to school for heat in the air, dare make an honest living or make a crooked killing, or do a bit of both until you're holding on a million? Brilliant. You got one foot in, one foot out. You put your left foot back in, and then you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey till you turn your life around. That's what it's all about. 3,000 out. That is the greatest verse of all time.
It's not the greatest verse of all time. Incredible verse. I think it's Andre's best verse.
Dog, that motherfucker said that
was
it's easier to run the streets than walk in the sand. Dog, like, yeah, it's so easy to be on this fucking block, but can you be on this motherfucking beach in Antigua with me, nigga? Like, dog.
Andre got some of my favorite verses, right? I know that was what that dropped like what 08? So that wasn't even like peak Outkast days. That was like 08, right? Close to 2010 when that dropped.
That was after.
I don't even remember when that. I mean, because I just remember it just dropped randomly, Shudden. Yeah, 08. Yeah, 08.
And I think that's what keeps Andre's alive, because if you weren't all right, so the Outkast when they was popping, I don't want to say when they were popping like they not known, but like real Aquemini, AT-Aliens, you had to be tapped in, right? That wasn't just common. Obviously, the South got something to say.
I mean, AT-Aliens. I mean, not AT. I'm sorry. Aquemini, like one album of the year.
But I'm talking about the early Outkast days, right?
Oh, you're talking about like a Southern Playalistic? And...
Yes. Like before you even knew, that's when music was still regional. You know, local areas would know who somebody was. They'd be big down there, and it took maybe a year or two before, we all know Master P and Cash Money was huge down in New Orleans before the rest of the world caught on and all that kind of good stuff. I think part of Andre's appeal is that he kept getting better with time. And remember, we in a real life time now where we're seeing hip hop grow old. I mean, when we were younger, it was corny to be 35 and still rapping. Now most of the rappers I listen to are 44, 45, older, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but we didn't have, once Slick Rick and KRS and all them got to that point, if they were still trying to put music out, it was on some, nigga, what you doing? Like, go sit down somewhere, you done. Remember when Game said it to Hov, man, you 38 and you still rapping, like that was frowned upon. And I think Andre was part of that first generation.
What's wrong with Game?
All right, we older now.
What's wrong with Game?
Right, like, and that nigga 40-something still rapping, right? So it's always funny how it works. Listen, we gonna have to have you back, JAH, because we can have these conversations. I really want to.
Anytime you want to come on, bro, just tell me, hey, I want to come on the podcast this week. You have an open invitation.
That's what's happening, man. Because there's definitely a lot of fun, man.
Yeah. And there's so much that, not only that, man, there's a ton of stuff I still want to ask you. Just even about the stuff Spike was telling me about and just having this conversation with you. This is like the warm-up, right? This is our introduction. This is that first talk, man, getting able to know you a little bit, understand some of the things about you. I'm gonna be able to dive into the content, and then I'm gonna have even more questions for you, because I think that you are you're definitely unique one-on-one brother, man, in the best ways, right? I admire the tenacity and the mindset that you have when it comes to having something in front of you and just telling yourself, man, like, this is getting done regardless. It's getting done regardless, and I'm not even thinking twice about it. And there's so many layers that I want to peel back when it comes to that. And I 100%, like, soon, I'm talking about March, April, we want you back on. Have a
Oh,
conversation.
yeah. I
And
mean, it's nothing, dog. Just hit me up and let me know, man. I'm there.
before we go to, like, it's very rare. Like, me and Rich got the same personality. We always talk about it in the show. It's very rare that I'm like, man, I'm impressed. I'm fucking impressed. Like just being in you and I had the blessing of being able to work together and just being able to see you operate. You're one of the few people that I ever met in my life because the personality that I have. Like, damn, this an impressive ass nigga right here. And I respect it. Not because he's trying to be, not because this nigga going and putting on a 3-piece suit and trying to be somebody that he think corporate America or anybody else wants him to be, but just from a sense of, I'm me, I know what the fuck I can do, and I'm going to do that shit, and you're not going to talk me off of it. Genuinely, like that's the reason, again, that I wanted to have you on, and you have an open invitation to always come back. This was a great conversation. That's the reason, again, that I had you on.
Hey, man. I mean, listen, man, I appreciate it, man. Like this over here, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm humbled by this, you know what I'm saying? Because yeah, because I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm, you know what I'm saying, like pontificating, but like I just be, you know what I'm saying, living that shit in real life. So like I don't really like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like
that's
so
the impressive
thing,
thing about it. You ain't trying.
You know
You're doing
like,
yeah. That's
so
what's
I'm not
impressive.
like, yeah. So it's like somebody tell me that like I'm impressive. Like I'm like, all right, like 80% of me is like extremely humble, like by that statement. The other 20% is like, I know, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
Like,
that's it. And that's
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like no, but
because I know
no,
you.
but that just comes from a belief system, from a faith, you know what I'm saying, from a faith aspect. Like we talk about confidence, like how there is no confidence without belief. Right? It's like if you don't believe, then there's no way to be confident. And I just have a very strong belief system because I have this extremely strong faith where I feel the presence of God in real time. And I just can't explain that in words. I wish I could, but it is a unique thing that all of us have individually, because that's the connection that we have. I mean, we come into the world by ourselves and we're gonna lead the same way, right? And that connection with, you know what I'm saying, that higher power is the only thing that we truly actually have. And I'm just connected with that, and it makes me feel like I could punch through a wall.
Fire.
Like if yeah, I'm about to say, I was about to keep on rambling because, you know what I'm saying, because if you have motherfuckers like, you know, who really believe Jesus, man, he walked on water. Like, you know what I'm saying, like you know what I'm saying, like it's like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know how much belief you got to have, like to
walk on water, to turn water to wine.
And as we get out of here, I'm gonna make sure everybody knows where to find you. But to Spike Lee's point, you can't fake that, man. You can't fake that authenticity and that confidence. You can't fake it because, to quote the greatest rapper of all time, you can't send me bullshit. We know the prices. You know what I mean?
Okay,
so
there we go. I thought you was gonna say you are who you are before you got here. I thought that's what you about to say.
All of that, yeah. Man, listen, we can do that. We can do that. That's another. Listen, we can have a whole episode just talking about music on here, man. It's okay. It was a pleasure.
Listen, man,
I mean that.
I'm all the way down, man.
We still have to have conversations about The Wire. We still have to have a conversation because he's a Wire fan like me and you.
Yeah. I can break The Wire down too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, most HBO shows I could break down. And by the way, now that I got you on here, man, have you started The Leftovers yet?
No.
What, the movie?
I am. No, he told me to watch The Leftovers. He said it's top 3 HBO shows.
So The Leftovers is on the Mount Rushmore of HBO shows.
I got to start over. I'm starting over because he was so convincing in the pitch to me to like, nah, you wasn't watching it right. Like you was watching it wrong, because I made it through season 1 and I was like, okay, all right. And then I got to season 2 and I was like, all right. Then I just fell off of it. But then I talked to JAH and it was like, all right, I gotta go check. I gotta double back. I gotta go back and check that out because of how convincing you was telling me that. That's the next thing I'm starting. I'm glad you reminded me.
No doubt, man. JAH, where can people find you, man? Social media, YouTube page, the whole nine. Where can they find you?
Yeah, man. You can find me on Instagram at Vanity360. I'm guess that since I'm putting it out there, I'm gonna have to leave it there for a second. I was literally about to change it. Like so it's Yeah, you can find me at Vanity360. If you on the Twitter or X or whatever you call it, you can find me at JAH's Way, which is what I was about to change it to. That's JAHZWEH 360. JAH's Way
And the
360.
YouTube page.
And the YouTube page, of course, which is linked down in the description. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. All right, now it's things and stuff with JAH. Things and stuff with JAH. Yeah, y'all keep that.
What do you call your tribe? What's the name of them?
The Milestone Mafia. Yes.
Milestone Mafia, man. Shout out to
Milestone Mafia, man. We have to make sure that we celebrate our wins, man, no matter how big or small, man. We just from milestone to milestone, brick by brick. Like, and if you really want an explanation of that, watch the video I did on them Deion Sanders sneakers.
That's the last video I think you had posted, right?
Yeah, and I broke that down, and I feel that that's the direction I really want to start taking my channel, is really just tying in like those type of themes to the sneakers, and because I got a really good response from that video. Anyway, but we've been trying to wrap this shit up for like 15 minutes. My bad.
That's
listen,
all good,
man,
brother.
I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. I appreciate both of y'all for having me. And yes, like whenever it is that you want to do this again, all it is a text message. I'm right there. And let me tell you how meant it was to be, man. My kids didn't even run down here and come interrupt us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, which is something I told Spike that was gonna happen. I was like, listen, man, I was like, yeah, we gonna have an impromptu, like, because they don't care if I'm at work, they don't care nothing. When they come up in the office, man, they need their attention. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, all right, I'm gonna shut the fuck up now, because
you good, man. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. We definitely gonna have you back, man. Spike,
great appearance.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You're officially a co-author, officially a bookworm, man. Welcome to the family. Appreciate you. And we honored to have your first appearance, man. Your first podcast experience of all time.
Yeah.
Couldn't have gone better, my brother. Spike Lou, appreciate you quarterbacking it, man. Appreciate you putting this together. Getting your Jerry Jones on, man, and playing GM. Nah, you don't want to be Jerry, man. Pick a new team. But
the irony in the name you picked there. I ain't even gonna say nothing about it.
Yeah, you know I did that on purpose, man. But
I know you did.
For everybody,
I know you did.
Everybody else out there, man. Now, seriously, man, we Spike and myself, man, we really talked about it. We were like, man, we hated to be off those 2 weeks, like we said, but we back. Schedules are realigned. Even if we know something ahead of time, we're gonna make sure we have some kind of content for you in case that happens in the future. But we'll be rolling for a while. Appreciate all y'all out there for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Check out JAH's information. His YouTube page is in the description. Until then, we'll see y'all next week for chapter 19. Peace. Let's be better this week.
All right.